Hello everyone, and today I've got a box full of stuff, and I'm just going to explain to y'all what's in this box. And I've got two boxes, one right there, one right there. This is the real cool stuff. Got a focus. Got an oil pump stud. That's pretty cool. And then you can obviously ARP. These are head bolts and washers. And I've never actually opened this box. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand. This just tells me to apply some Moly ARP thread sealer on it, which I think I have a deal of that. But anywho, that's my intake bolt, or not my intake, my head bolts. And underneath every single ARP box, I guess they have these. It's a torque spec chart. Handy. And obviously you see scat. And these are connecting rods. These are forged connecting rods. Oh. And I have a locking plate bolt kit for a... this is a non-roller. This is a solid cam locking plate, but that's just because it's a solid block. Here's a connecting rod. Sounds nice and metallic. Bam. I know they look pretty factory, but these are forged and they are very light. I've also got a scat crankshaft that's in the shed, and that crankshaft is like 5 pounds lighter than the OEM stuff. But the deal with this, oh, and there's 6-inch rods. There's 6-inch rods. These are 6-inch forged rods. They're I-beams, of course. But the 5 pounds doesn't sound like a lot, but going 3,500 RPM, that centrifugal force is quite a bit. I have no idea what that is. Scoggin Dickey Performance Center. And these are 12-point Vortec intake bolts, which I have intake heads and an intake manifold. I have Vortec heads and a Vortec intake. And since it's a older style block, I have to have this to block off that fuel pump hole. I know, these sound beautiful. This is a Keith Black 2-valve relief cast piston. 2-valve relief helps with compression, because factory, I think they're just solid. I think they're just flat. And then, I mean, they could be 4-valve relief, but I'm not 100% certain. And I have a cam button. Now, since it's a non-roller block, I have to use this to basically keep my timing set from moving forward and really messing some stuff up. So I do need that. And And I got a gasket set in the shed as well. Here's my intake bolts, fuel pump block off plate. Oh, my connecting rods. Sorry. Oh, well, okay, I guess my phone's gonna fall down. Alright, there's my connecting rods, oil pump stud, head bolts, block off plate. I also have main studs, but I'm not using these. Assembly lube. But yeah, that's the stud. Like I said, I'm not using these. I will use them eventually whenever I put it in a different vehicle, but for my truck, it's not going in it. I also have a very pretty box. Cam box. This is what everyone loves to see. And this is a 15-year-old cam, I believe. It's been passed around from my dad and his friend for years. And so my dad recommended it to me. So I bought it off of him for $100. Yeah, that's a brand new cam. Never been used. That is freaking awesome. And I have a cam card on it. And my phone's gonna fall down. You're not missing anything. I'm just wrapping my cam in this plastic. Alright. Then this is the cam card. Probably gonna get this laminated or something. Alright, it is a cast iron distributor drive gear, roller block, even though I don't have a roller block, but I will show you something about this after I put this up. Its lift is 431, 450. Rocker arm ratio, that's at a that's a 1.5 rocker lift. It is, I guess it's a hot cam. The duration, where is it? Oh, the duration 196 and 205 at 50 thousandths. And this is a 109 lobe separation angle cam, even though it doesn't say that. I believe if you just did the math on that, I'm sure it might add up to 109 degrees. But it also comes with valve event timings. Put that cam card back in there. Alright, now for the next box of goodies. Let's move this so it doesn't hit anything. Automatically see painless. I'm going to sit y'all down real quick. Alright. Obviously you see the painless wiring. So you think there's you think there's a painless product in here. You would be right. Here's my intake runners. These are a tune port runner. These are the largest runners you can get, and I believe they are also long tubes. And there's a deodorant thingy. Just throw that in the trash right there. Alright. Here is a remanufactured 3rd generation F-Bodies PCM. This is a pretty neat little deal because this is the PCM I'm going to be using on my truck whenever I do the engine swap. So set that right there. And then there's a, let me get this in the light a little bit better. And there's a painless TPI wire harness, but this is for a car, not a truck. Summit book. And this is a Vortec water neck. Now, remember how I gotta show you this badassness. The biggest throttle body for this particular intake that you can get on the market, and all the hardware. And there's a purple rag somewhere. This is an oil filter. This goes into your. This is not an oil filter. This goes and threads into your oil filter, and where your oil filter would go. Your oil filter goes there, and coolant flows through there to cool off the oil, which is pretty cool. So fuel filter plate. What is a bolt of sorts. And then a Borg Warner part. What is this? I don't remember this. Oh, this is a knock sensor. I do not remember that. Maybe one of those deals he threw in. And then there is... This is an AC Delco part. I don't remember exactly what this is. Oh. This is a brake pedal switch. Or a clutch pedal, if you got that. But you see how there's one for cruise and one for the brake lights. So I would assume this is the brake light. Or it could be for the starter. I don't know. Alright, and then this is a switch of sorts. I think it might be a clock spring or something. I'm not 100% certain. It might be for a distributor, actually. Let's see what it says. Switch AS. It tells me everything I need to know. This here is a piece you cannot get anymore. It is a Memcal. It's very hard to find. Alright, now, my block is a solid block, but I'm running a roller cam. I am using a pen. I am using Retrofit hydraulic roller lifters. It's a pretty cool little ordeal. I like it. It's really neat. I dig it a lot. And because, oh hey, battery box. Because of these are actually taller than the factory. So I actually have to get a different length push rod. I can't run a factory length, of course. But I have a bag in there to kind of try to keep them sealed. And then my throttle body box.
Try this again.
Alright. Also, I have another box in here. Full roller rocker arms. These are 1.5s. Not that I wasn't planning on running 1.6s, but I got 1.5s in the deal, so I'm just going to run them. I was going to do 1.6s, but I got these in the deal, so I might as well use them. Now, I do have the engine block. I do have the intake, and I do have fuel rails wherever they went. I don't remember where they went. That might be a problem. But, anyway, I've got probably sitting right here, I've probably got, and that's a 500, that's a, these here are like $500 because they are the long tubes. and there's some kind of material that makes them very expensive. Those were $500. And this here, I think he said when he bought it, he got it for like $500. So there's $1,000 right there, just right here. This here, I think, was like $300. So this $1,300. That there probably was $150. So that's $1,450, and then all the stuff in there. Yeah, there's a lot of money sitting on my bed right now. And then the rocker arms, that was probably $150. The block, he got it out of an '85 Corvette. That's why it's not a roller. But with a little help of a set of lifters, I can run a roller cam. And a cam button, I also have to have that too. But like I said, I have head gaskets coming in for this deal. Yeah, I've got to find that fuel rail. It's got my regulator on it. But, no, that's what I got. So, if you liked the video, consider subscribing. And, as always, have a great day, people. Peace.